Hi everyone. So I'm gonna wait for some people to get on, but I am gonna be doing a live today on how we do nail trimming at home, because if we took Rosie to a groomer, I think that she would be scarred for life. So everyone just joining, we are doing a live nail clipping. I have no idea how this is actually gonna go. I'm a little nervous because sometimes it takes a lot of finesse to make it look right. Thanks, Sam. But I'm just gonna show you like kind of the steps that we take to do the nail trimming, in case you guys want to try this at home, or if your dog has a lot of anxiety around nail clipping. Rosie is super anxious when it comes to nail clipping and doesn't like it whatsoever. We have had a lot of trouble with it, and I tried a ton of different things now. So I'm hoping I'll be able to share a few tips and tricks that have worked for us, and make it easier for you guys. So to start out, we use this specific nail trimmer. It's linked in our Amazon store. I think this one I've tried a couple of them, and this one is like the best one that I've found so far. And it's really quiet, like I can turn it on, and it doesn't really bother Rosie, which is like the biggest thing, and makes the biggest difference for us in the nail trimming process. I have started doing it while I'm feeding her, so that's kind of why I'm doing it right now, because I'm about to feed her dinner. Hey Zena and Lucy. And so I'm gonna get her food ready, and then we'll start the whole nail trimming process. And I won't be able to answer as many questions like during it, but I'll try and check the chat, or if you put the little questions in the question box down there, I'll be able to try and get those. So I'm just grabbing her food bowl. And her food. So we feed raw, and part of the reason that this is so great for raw food, or this is so great for what we're doing, is we keep it frozen. So we use Darwin's raw food. This one is the duck, and I'm gonna leave it frozen so that it takes her longer, and I'm gonna do one patty at a time. She eats 4 patties a day, and so I'll just give her one at a time to start working on it. Another thing you'll see too in this video is I keep her leash on, and that makes it a lot easier for us to control her and then not have her run around. So I'm getting this out. And as you can see, it's just like in the bowl right here. So it's all ready to go. This is just a simple ceramic bowl. And I'm gonna take it down here. The other thing too, I'm gonna try and set this up. So if you try and put your food bowl in a corner or like up against something, it's a lot easier to trim their nails, because they're not like running around. So one of the things, like if we left it in the middle of the room, like if we left it here, she can kind of like keep moving around and keep getting in the way. So putting it against here, right? Sit. Good. So putting it right there makes it so that makes it so it's a little bit easier for her to stay put. You can see we have our leash on here, so that if she like tries to move too much, she stays within the area. So this is like what we're trying to do. And I'm gonna do let her start eating. I'm gonna turn this on first actually, so you can kind of see how she gets a little bit crazy. Can you guys see this? So she gets a little crazy with it. She doesn't love it. So this is kind of like, this is why we have the leash on too, because I don't want her to run away. Good girl, Rose. So if you're just starting out with a nail trimmer, I recommend using, just like letting them see it, letting them hear it, letting them see it. And guys, she's like a crazy coconut right now. I think I've shown you guys this video before where she does this. This is like her starting out. So this is just her getting used to it and getting more comfortable with it. Now I'm gonna let her eat her food. Okay, break. So now she's gonna start eating, and I'm gonna start with the back feet first. Okay, so you see how she like already moved around? This is gonna be a little harder, so I'm gonna try and make sure you guys can see it. So I'm just gonna start touching her feet like this. Good girl. So she's like wondering what's going on. Good girl, Rose. And then I'm gonna take one little nail. And then I go to the next nail. Good girl, Rose. Good girl. So I just do a little bit at a time. We've been working at this for a little while now. Good girl, Rose. So right now, we're just going through the nail, and she's barely bothered by it. Like, this is very new. Good girl, Rose. So she's just kind of letting me pick up her nail. Good girl. So this is her. We're just doing a little bit at a time for each one. Good girl, Rose. Lots of praise and positive reinforcement. So now I'm going to try and pick up her this nail, the front nail. She doesn't normally like this as much, so she's actually doing really well. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but this is kind of the setup. So she's in the corner here, and this is like really important for like making this easier for both you and the pup. So as soon as she's done eating, she like won't let me do this at all. So she's like done eating, and she's like no longer really distracted, and she's like done. So this is where I think it's really important to like have something that's like distracting for them, because with treats, when we've done treats before, she does not let us try clip her nails whatsoever with just like treats. So the only thing that's been motivating her lately is her food. So I just started with one patty, and I'm gonna give her the next one. So for those of you just joining, we're using her raw food to do nail trimming. This is dinner for her. Rosie, sit. Good girl. Can you say hi to everybody? Oh, I do have a nice little burp. And this is important, keep the leash on so that they can't move too much. Oh, you're so excited. She absolutely loves her Darwin's food. This has been the only thing that's like we've been able to like do her nail trimming with. So wait, Rosie. This is really good impulse control and training. Okay. So another thing is we put it in the corner, so it's a little bit harder for her to move around too much. I'll see what questions you guys might have had in here. Well, the file we use is like a Dremel, but it's like specifically designed for dogs. and it doesn't stop. You just turn it off and on by yourself. Let's see, any other questions? Okay, so wait. Good girl, Rose, you're being such a good girl. Okay. Okay, break. Good girl. So now we'll try and do the other side of this. Now this is a little harder to see. Our other back feet. So we do the other ones first. So first we have to like hold, so I kind of like get her used to me holding her foot first. So you just kind of hold the feet. And this is something you can do before you even start nail filing, is just like hold the feet. I'm trying to see if you can see it any better this angle. Okay, Russ, move it back. Good girl. Back up. So she's ready for me. And I just take the nail individually. It's kind of hard to show you. I just take the nail and separate it a little bit, and then I put it right on the file. And if you just do this a little bit each week, then it becomes so much easier. We just do a little bit at a time. Good girl. So now she's done. So I don't try and like push it too much. So she's done eating now, so I'm not gonna try and push it too much, because I want her to keep associating this like as much of a positive experience as possible. So I try and just like do as much as we can. She's still lifting her little foot up. You can see. Okay, Rose, you can put it down. You can put your foot down. So I try and keep it as much of a positive experience as possible, because I don't want, we've made so much progress. If you guys watch the beginning of the video, you can see how she starts to react to the nail trimmer, and while she's eating she doesn't care at all, but as soon as I bring it out without it, she kind of goes a little crazy. So we keep it a positive experience as possible. Look, she's got a little beard. Can you show everyone your little beard? Yeah, you got a little raw food beard. So I'm gonna try this other thing. This is like, do you guys know like the little Grinch feet? Rosie kind of has them right now. Stay put. We're gonna try and take care of those a little bit. Stay, sit. With this other product. So this product is our little grooming. Comes with this little comb, and then it has a couple different, hey! I did not give you permission. Sit, please. Sit. Good girl. So I have treats for this one instead of her food, because she's already had her serving size today. So it comes with just these blunt scissors. Thank you, Layla, for getting a badge. You guys are so nice. It comes with these other types of shears. I think they're thinning shears. And then these more like angled shears. So I'm gonna try and show you guys. This one's a little harder. I'm not as good at it, but I'm gonna try my best, because it's nice to have nice looking feet. And another thing too is that Rosie was like really bad at like licking her paws. Rosie, down. Rosie used to lick her paws a lot, and ever since we started doing these, doing like more trimming of her feet, like especially like the under part of the foot, she doesn't lick them as much. So it's a little bit harder for you guys to see. But I take these, I'm like not a professional groomer whatsoever. I just take the regular ones and then I go like in between the feet. Rosie doesn't care as much about her like feet being trimmed as she does her nails being trimmed. So I'm able to use the treats a little bit easier to distract her versus if she like does not deal with me trimming her. Good girl. Okay, thank you. Down. Rosie, down. Good girl. This is also really great to do some like command training too. Good girl. Okay, thank you. Hey, thank you. Rosie, can I have a paw? Give me a paw. Oh, paw is actually a really good one that we taught her to like give us the paw while we clip it. Okay. So I tell her to give me a paw and then I do a little snip. Okay, hey, can I have, Rosie, sit. She gets so excited. Okay, wait. Hey, no. Gotta wait a little bit. Okay. So this is like something we are working on actively. This is not perfect by any means, but it's definitely helped a ton with her. Okay, ready? Sit. Rosie, sit. Give me a paw. Give me a paw. Okay, good girl. Now you gotta let me trim a little hairs. Sit. Sit. She gets so excited with food. Hey! She just loves it. Okay. Back it up. Okay. Give me a paw. So she gives me a paw. I give her a little treat. While she's nomming on the treat, I try and do little snips. Yeah. Okay. Hey, good girl. Good, Rosie. Sit. Hey, sit down. Good girl. Good, Rose. Nice job. Thank you. Okay, stay. Try and twist the camera to her. Okay. Good girl. Good, Rosie. Okay, good girl. So don't try and push it too much between treats and paws. Okay, okay, here you go. So I give her the reward, and then she lets me, hopefully, Rosie, sit. Sit. Sit, Rosie, good girl. So we just take a little bit and go around the paws like this. And this has really helped us with like her trying to itch her paws too much because stuff gets caught in there. Okay, good girl, sit. Good girl. Hey, sit. Sit. Good girl, Rosie. Okay, sit. Oh. Okay. Now she's down again. Okay, up. Sit. I find it's a little bit easier if she's sitting down, not laying down. Sit. Okay, God, give me a paw. No, sit. She gets confused with her commands when there's food involved. Okay, give me a paw. Give me a paw. Sit down. So I think it's really important for them to sit while you try and do this versus, okay, give me a paw. There you go. Good girl. Rosie. Rosie, sit. Okay. Sit. Can I have a paw? Can I have a paw? Rosie, give me a paw. Sit down. So I think sitting first and then getting a paw and then try and do a little snip. Good girl. Okay, sit. Sit. Give me a paw. Give me the paw. Other paw. Give me the other one. I don't know if you guys can see this, but she like just likes to tap me. Sit. Good girl. So this is one of the other reasons we really needed to use e-collar is because food is like, she doesn't even listen. Rosie, sit. Sit down. Sit down. This is laying down. Hey! That's not all for you. You gotta work for it. Okay. Sit, please. Good girl. Okay. Give me a paw. Okay, you gotta let me do a little step. Hey, Rosie, sit. Paw. Thank you. Rosie, sit. She gets so excited. Okay, good girl. Okay. Sometimes the top of the paws, if you like have these like round scissors. Rosie, sit down. Thank you. Sometimes the top of the paws are a little easier, and then you can like kind of trim, maybe. I don't know if she'll let me show you guys. Okay. We're really working on more functionality versus looks of this. Rosie, sit down. Good girl. Okay. So a question we got is, what is her time schedule to feed her? And we, when she was a puppy, we were feeding her 3 times a day. And now we try and feed her like first thing in the morning, between like 7 and 9. And then at night between like 5 and 7. And then this, Rosie's like very, like she's finally put on weight. But we're not too worried about her getting too many treats. So we haven't really included these, but these, I mean, for us, when I was like initially training her, it took a lot. It took so many treats. So I would use like their entire meal to train for nail trimming. Because it's way, because it's way easier to get them distracted by something that they really love. And I know each dog is like so different with like what they're motivated by, and there's different levels of motivation. I thought the treats would be enough for Rosie because like you can see she's like going crazy for them, but like for the nail trimming, it just like wasn't enough. So even the treats might be too much for her. I might have to wait till later to do more of her paws with this, but okay. Good girl. Okay. You can clip in between the toes. Okay. Okay. Rosie might be done with grooming. Another thing too, depending on if your dog likes being brushed or not. I know some people don't love the Furminator, but like I swear by the Furminator, I love it. Rosie, down. And so some dogs don't love brushing either. And so this is a good way to like use some treats, and then you can go ahead and brush them. I always brush her ears too because they get like a lot of mats in them. So she's pretty tolerant. She tolerates this. She doesn't love it. But that like helps get all the mats out. I think the ears are one of the like quickest places to get mats in them. So I always try and do this to get the mats out of her ears. Guys, don't like come after me for my horrible technique. There's a pretty big mat actually in her. There we go. But there's this grooming rake too. We use this one. This is another Furminator rake. Rosie hasn't come into her full fluffs yet, so we're waiting on that moment for her. But that's kind of our grooming routine. I know this was kind of like last minute, so I'll save it as an IGTV. You don't like it, huh? Yeah, I love the Furminators. I know that some people are not like huge fans of them, but I like think that they're amazing. Which one do you guys use? Do you guys use this one or this one? I love like one of my favorite tools they have is the Curry Comb. I did a video, a sponsored post with them a little while ago, and the Curry Comb is one of the things that they sent me. Also, this again, leash for grooming is just like the best thing ever because they can like she already like went all the way over there, and Rosie. It's kind of tough when you're like brushing them to get the leash on, but the leash is definitely a helpful tool. Good girl, Rosie. She's so funny. Rosie, down. She'll do anything for some treats. This is also too, these, no. These are just broken up freeze-dried food. So if you feed raw and like ever need some treats, or even if you don't feed raw and you want some like single ingredient healthy treats, we just break up some of these, some of the like nuggets, and then she gets them. But we're gonna go run around outside because it's finally cooled off and it's beautiful. But thank you so much for tuning in. Rosie says thank you. And feel free to comment if you guys have any questions or send me a DM about grooming because we've tried a lot of different things and I have lots of different suggestions. Another one I didn't try because it's like currently not working for us. It did work for us in the past. And it's funny how things like used to work, but like now they just don't work anymore, is the licking mats and the peanut butter frozen on them. That used to work like a charm for Rosie, and now it's like, she doesn't even care. So that's always something to try if it could potentially work. But as of right now, Rosie doesn't love it. So, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, the Chris Christensen slicker brush. I've seen those slicker brushes. Rosie hates. I have one like little slicker brush, but it's like she does not like it at all. Like she will bark at it. Like I'll see if she does this thing again. If I turn this on. How do you feel about this right now? Hey, you're gonna lick it? What do you feel? Do you like it? This is what she'll do. Oh. Oh, do you not like it? Oh. How do you feel about it? You're such a crazy coconut. She literally is. Those are the moments where I'm like, so that's what she does for slicker brushes. So I have not invested in that Christensen one because I'm like, I don't want to not be able to use it. But I have not tried these new methods with it, so I'll definitely try it again. But thanks so much for hanging out, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.